is ready to get a song stuck in their head. So timer starts when I gain control of Buster right now. All right, so right off the bat, we're starting off in Acme University. And so we have different maneuvers to pass this first section. A lot of it is the intended way to go through this world. So we get these Go-Go Bird statues, allows us to jump over these large gaps, climb up these walls. And so this is all the intended way of using these, and we're going to be manipulating this to save some time later on in the run. One example is right here, if I can get it. Nice.
Nice.
So that is a one-frame trick that I'll explain in the next world. But coming up, we have a little mini-boss, the security dog. That was kind of weird, but the hardest part about that boss is probably grabbing that key. Okay, wire liquor section. All right, so Hampton is basically telling us that Dizzy is eating all the food. And so we're going to go try to stop him, and the way we're going to stop him is putting him into a food coma.
Nothing stops me from eating food like eating more food.
And so we want a 3-3-1 cycle, and that's going to control the amount of times that Dizzy spins, which loses time, and that was perfect.
Yeah, if you get Dizzy out of cycle and he just starts spinning like crazy, this fight can take a really long time.
Dizzy, instant food coma. All right, so Hampton, we're gonna have a love-hate relationship with Hampton. We want to see Hampton, but for short amounts of time.
Yeah, these mini games coming up are really what make or break a run of this game.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Looks
Ooh,
good.
so maybe the Hampton.
Very nice. Nice Hampton.
I believe it's only a 3-frame window to get Hampton, so having to do that 5 times in the run, it
Yeah.
can be really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So this is why we want Hampton.
See ya, Hampton.
See you, Hampton.
Yeah, the mini games to either side of Hampton, which we're hoping not to see in this run, are either 40 seconds to a minute, I think. So it's pretty significant.
All right, so here we have a jump rope. You're supposed to jump over the rope 10 times, but you don't actually have to jump.
Nice.
Oh,
That was a little weird.
yeah. Here's where some of the platforming starts to really shine. Let's see if I can get it. I already missed a little bit, but see if we can recover. All right, not optimal, but
You're
overall
up there.
good. So Antenna Max is stealing money out of the safe there, even though he's super rich. But we're going to be chasing him through this train. And so this will probably be a good time to start talking about what we call task jumps. And the reason why they call it task jumps is, one, we saw them in the task, and two, that essentially it's an air dash jump cancel, and that's just too long to say. So task jumps are these double jumps that I'm doing here. And you can kind of do them infinitely. It's just that they're really taxing.
So he makes that look really easy. That is not easy at all. He's the only person who does this, I think. Yeah. It's crazy.
Also, if you played this as a kid, this is where you died. I still worry that I'm gonna die here.
Yeah. No, this is probably one of the harder auto-scrollers I've seen in a game. Just, it's really unforgiving. Like, it's really easy to slip and fall. And the left side of the screen is not going to push you forward if you touch it. If the left side of the screen goes past him, he is dead. So it's basically like just a giant wall of death coming right at you the whole time. The number of times I've died by just kick flipping an enemy and bouncing off the left is more than I care to admit.
Definitely. Probably have time for maybe 2 donations.
All right. We have a $50 donation from Chairstar. Over 600,000 boops so far is great. Here's another 50. Keep on booping. And a $10 donation to Joe Hidden, longtime watcher, first-time donator. Thank you all for what you do during this event. It brings gamers together for a great cause. Donation goes to Announcer's Choice.
All right, so not much to talk about in this section, but there is a little mini boss coming up, and we want to hit him from the back to move him forward. If we end up hitting him in the front, he can basically fall behind a small section that his hitbox disappears, and so we'll have to wait for him to come up. So let's see how we do.
You'll see him face left at the top here. There he goes.
Yeah, there we go.
Knocks him that way. Nice fight. Did you explain dash meter management?
I did not. So with dash meter management, there's certain sections, especially in the next world, where we want just enough dash meters so that we're going to start running, and then as soon as the dash meter is over, you actually walk out of the animation versus needing to do something like a dash stop. And so that saves some time in World 3 and some other sections, and you probably already seen me do it a little bit.
Yeah, the whole speed run is really all about getting as much optimal movement as you can out of that dash meter, like milking it for every bit that it's worth. Jumping and sliding and all that can extend the amount of time that you're going at your fastest speed.
Right. So, the moment of truth. So this is the auto-scroller train boss, probably on its way to get suplexed in some other speedrun. But we're going to see if we can do one of the most infamous tricks in this game. Moment for a swag rabbit.
Oh, there it goes.
The train zip.
The train zip.
Saves approximately 0 seconds and 0 frames.
Also notice he destroyed that little steam thing on the left. What's up, Doc?
So yeah, you're supposed to kill this part of the train, but
You're not going to kill it from behind?
no.
We're saving the train today.
Saving the
folks.
train.
So yeah, that steam thing he killed, the graphic is still broken, but now it's alive again. I don't know, I like that little glitch.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. It like respawns. Yeah, there's several different ways I've been trying to see if we can make this boss just a little bit faster, like finding the trigger to skip all this, but it's always a really consistent pace. If you try to challenge it, you end up getting ate by the screen.
Also, the game wants you to go down there, but ever since you died in that other marathon you did, you don't go down there anymore.
Yeah, the fluffy bunny is tempting, but not necessary.
All right.
So Montana Max needs a buddy to get him off this train. So, fun fact, I think everything in my experience with video games would tell me I'm supposed to be mashing right now to go faster, but you actually don't have to hit anything.
Yeah, when I started learning this game, I thought you did need to mash to go faster because you're always doing it on your stream just because.
Yeah.
And so I thought I had to push the button really fast and stress myself out for a while.
All right, here we go. Second minigame.
Yeah, that's worth a clap. That's a hard auto-scroller.
We got
Nice.
ooh, the Hampton.
Awesome.
So one good thing about getting the same minigame over and over again is that they also skip the instructions. So for every new minigame you do, you have to see the instructions every time.
Yeah, the way he's getting Hampton consistently to hit that. Did you explain that already?
I haven't.
Okay, so to hit that 3-frame window that Akatero mentioned, what he's doing is he's pressing YYB at kind of a fixed rate that he knows, and what he's watching for is when the arrow appears at the top of the wheel, and then hitting YYB just really consistently, and hoping that that muscle memory is enough to get the mini game. Everybody does it a little differently. I have a little bit of a different input buffer. Akatero, you just look for the pink color, right? Yeah, so it's kind of just whatever works for you to get that fast.
Yep, and into World 3 here
Yeah.
is really where the platforming really starts to shine.
This might be the best level in the game.
Nice.
Awesome. Perfect. Hit the cycle perfectly.
Yep. Nice.
Very, very nice stage.
So 2 things I didn't talk about on this stage was the clipping over the walls. If the wall doesn't have a ceiling attached to it, you can just skip over the wall. So that comes in handy on this stage and then the last world. So Babs was playing with her friend in the basement, then Dr. Gene Splicer came to brainwash him. So we're going to try to not kill the monster, but we're going to destroy the machine. So let's see how this goes.
If you're familiar with Donkey Kong Country 2, this boss is basically like Crow. He can give you all these light bulbs or screws. So like real eggs or fake eggs, and it's random. There's no way to control it.
So right there we had a lot of more light bulbs.
Yeah, this isn't terribly good RNG.
Oh, it's doing nice now. Should be about 1 more.
Yeah, almost. That should do it.
Nice.
So after this next mini game, we've got football, which is probably one of the most important parts of the run.
Yeah, definitely.
We got to return that kickoff.
And we're
Nice.
good.
3 for 3.
Yeah, the football section after the kickoff, it's always the same set pattern. If I end up getting hit at any point, or even doing extra jumps, it changes that pattern.
Yeah, so we've all got it memorized as far as the kickoff goes, but if you mess that up, it can be, yeah, we don't know what happens after that. So
Then it's all freestyle.
good time to focus here. Nice.
Nice.
Very nicely done.
So I'm taking an intentional hit there, because as you're doing the sports ball game, you're gaining a lot of stars. And so by taking that intentional hit, you lose all the stars. And if you don't, you end up having to count like 120 stars or something like that, and it's like
bad.
a little under a second per star. So
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
ooh, all right.
Okay, that one was a little scary.
That was a little scary. Sometimes we notice that the wheel stops a little slower. It really depends on which frame you hit it on.
So the next stage coming up here is Nomix's specialty. It's the stage that is why his world record is a minute faster than the second best time. And yeah, you'll see why.
Yep, just like that.
Yeah, that's a world record class right
World
there.
record class. I'll give this one more try. This is the harder of the two. Oh, thought that was it.
There you go. Hits the trigger. So again, these are all about 1 frame It's about a 1 frame window for each of these tricks. Nicely done.
That was very good. The thing that really makes those jumps difficult is the fact that you need to transition from one button to another in 1 frame, but the 2 buttons are on 2 different hands. So it's not quite the same
No.
as, you know, if you could just slide your finger.
Fighting the neckies.
Birds of jerks. So we probably have some time for donations here.
All right, we have a $25 donation from Arcadia Legend. Hey Nemix, Arcadia here. Now don't get mad because I was just kind of saying stuff, but be sure to pay attention so you don't feel the pain of the mini games. In all seriousness though, good luck on the run. You're one of my favorite streamers and a great friend. Go get all the Hamptons, never plucky. Also, hi Antilles.
What's up, Arcadia?
Thanks, Arcadia. Get mad, I was just saying stuff.
She said she'd donate.
Alright, small little optimization here. This little bird's gonna come and grab you, but if you go closer to him, you can get that
Nice.
transition a little faster.
Kind of a weird boss here, if you can even call it that.
Yeah. Ball done quick. So Buster has the magic book.
Yeah, that book is very important for reasons.
Very magic.
Yes, very magic.
Alright, so this section is just vertical auto scroller. The one thing to note here is that if you actually go too fast, you can fly out of the top of the roof and you die. Coming up is the last minigame. Are we going to get all Hamptons?
Ooh,
I don't know.
fabled 5 Hampton run. Does it exist?
What did the magic book say? I don't know, that seemed questionable.
Seems great. That's awesome. I don't know if you could tell right there because Babs and Buster were standing on it, but it is birds, both of the mini games to either side. So even on a spinning wheel, birds continue to be jerks.
Birds of Jerks wheel.
Birds are jerks
Here's the
wheel.
last section where test jumps really save a large amount of time, if I can get it.
Nice. So yeah, that part, and there's a whole bunch of platforming and dash jumping at the bottom if you don't know those task jumps, and that saves quite a bit of time. So even though he dropped, he still went quite a bit faster than the normal route would have been.
Yeah, under this ship, as I'm walking across, you'll see that there's enemies pouring out of the ship. You're supposed to go under there. There's a little platforming section, and there's definitely a risk of dying even going in that way.
Yeah, and you have to climb up a ladder that's pretty slow.
Yeah.
Task jumps are the way to go for sure.
This is our last auto scroller. There's a definitely not necessary. Learning the task jumps also makes just all the auto scrollers that much more interesting. So this is probably the last section that's good for donations.
All right, we have $20 from Kate Draws Comics. Gotta donate during Buster Bust Loose since that train level haunted me as a child. Good luck to all the runners.
Thanks.
We have another $20 donation from Kekleon. Tiny Toon Adventures is what GDQ is all about, reminding me of games that I couldn't beat as a kid and watching them get destroyed. Keep up the great work.
I remember as a kid, all I used to do was the football section. I would just lose on purpose just so I can keep playing it.
It's a pretty good football game. They actually have downs and
Right?
yards and For a 2D plane, it's probably about as well as you can do.
All right, so we have a little mini boss here. It takes 2 hits to kill him. We'll try to one-shot him. Let's see.
Nice.
Now we have the climb.
The climb.
Choice of hard, easy, definitely this way. Okay.
So we think that's a little faster because there's less jumping back and forth. Did you ever get to time it out, or?
I haven't. Yeah, that's the theory. So lots of really interesting platforming here. Climb here. Oh, I missed it. Try one more time. Oh, do not get hit by the ball.
Uh-oh.
That's fine. Let's try it again.
There we go. Reset.
Yeah, reset.
It's not a speed run without a reset.
All right, so Duck Vader, he's going to jump on this laser, and we're going to kick him off the laser, and he's going to hit himself. We want a left spawn. It's easier for a 1 cycle, but the cycle itself is still incredibly hard to get. It's 7 hits.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. So this is where it gets a little random.
Yeah, now it's basically guessing and hoping that he bounces where you want him to.
Yep. So I'm having
Time's coming up.
and time. Whew. I had 1 heart there. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
Usually my route takes an intended hit, and so I couldn't do that with 1 heart. What was my time?
A 21:56.
Awesome.
Pretty
21.
solid.
Really good.
Very nice. So Babs Bunny, to conclude our Tiny Toon speedrun, is going to congratulate her hero.
The galaxy is at peace.
Galaxy is at peace. There she goes. But then we are all reminded that birds are jerks.
Thanks for ruining the moment, Plucky.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for having me. Shout outs to all the Twitch fam. Shout outs to DKC communities, Earthbound community. Keeps me going on all the speedruns. Thank you to Antilles that told me to submit this game at the last minute. And yeah, thanks to my wife for being wonderful. And that's it.